So here's a video on how to take an H22 intake manifold off your H22 in your Civic. And the reason I wanted to make this video is because I have an EG hatch and the engine bay is so small in this thing and the H22 is so big that you can't slide the whole intake manifold out as one unit. And it hits these brake lines. So what you gotta do is you gotta separate it, and it's in three pieces. You got a top portion, a mid plate, and then a bottom portion. So you take the top half off, and then you take your bottom portion out and slide it out, and it's gonna hit on all that stuff, but it's not impossible. And so here is my intake manifold, all off, and I don't have every single sensor on here. I have a lot of things done to this intake manifold, so I have a lot of things plugged and everything. So it's not gonna be exactly like a stock intake would be, like if you got it off of like some kind of stock Prelude or something like that. But hopefully this gives you enough detail to where you feel like you're semi-comfortable in doing this. So here it goes. Here's all the tools you need. I needed a flathead and an 8mm to get my intake piping off. And that's pretty common sense. Everybody's done that. It's a short ram. There's your filter. And that's all in this throttle body. So you take that all off, and then you got all this. So all you really need is a 12mm of some sort. So you have an extension, a 3/8, and I used a deep socket 12mm and then a 12mm wrench to get those hard to reach places. And then I also have a 14 because I had to take my strut tire brace off, which not everybody has, but if you need to know, that's what you need. So here's your intake manifold, and first thing I did was I took off all the connections off the sensors. So you have your map sensor here, your throttle positioning here, and mine's all broken, and I don't know what happened to that, but I'll find that out here soon. Then you have your idle air control valve, and that's where your sensor is and your connection that goes right there. Take that off. And then your air fuel mixture sensor, take that connection off. And then I have the fuel injectors and the fuel rail still on the intake manifold, and this is all the connections you have to take off. And this is cylinder 4, cylinder 3, cylinder 2, cylinder 1. And then after that, you take off various, antifreeze lines, and then you have all these vacuum lines, which I have a lot of mine ported off. And then you got this big one right here that goes to your brake booster. There's this one way in the back right there. And then I have this one that goes off my fuel pressure regulator that goes right back into here. No problem. Then you have your gas line that goes, I'm guessing it goes back to the tank, I'm guessing. And that one was, yours is probably like crimped on or something because mine was clamped on, and that was 8mm also. And then you have your main gas line that goes to your filter, like your fuel filter would be somewhere right around here if you have like an EG or an EK, and it wraps around here, and then you have this connection. And I guess it would be a nut, and it's a 21mm. You have to get under it to take it off, if you're wondering about that. So then that gets it to right about where it is right now. And then you use your 12mm, and then you got these 5 bolts, one there, one here, one there, and then one right there, and one right here. So once you pull those off, like so, you have bolts like that down the center, and then you have nuts on the left and then on the right. And then it's going to be kind of hard to take these off because you have a gasket in the middle. So you'll need a little bit of leverage probably. So it pulls off just like that. And then you have your mid plate and your gasket. And your gasket's going to probably make that thing hang up pretty good. So, and especially if it's never been separated, it's going to be kind of hard. So you can just take like, a flathead and kind of pry it and, play with it. So once you get that off, you take that top portion off, then this is all your bottom portion. So all I did after that is you have these 10 holes right here, 5 up here, 5 on the bottom. And what you do is you take off from the inside of the engine bay, take off these 5 first, and then you jump under the car, and then you get these 5 under here. And those are kind of tricky to get to. That's what, that's what makes this really good, is you can get those tight reach places. And so when you're under the car, and on top too, where this white gasket is where all your bolts are. So you have all 5 up there, and then all 5 on the bottom. And you can kind of tell how it's gonna be a little bit tricky to get to those 5 bottom ones. And so you would use like a light or something like that to go under the car, and it will help you out a good amount. So let's see. I think that's everything that I can think of. The only thing I can think of, let me put this back on real quick so you have a better visual, is I cannot remember for the life of me what this thing is called right here. So I know I'm going to get made fun of in the comments if anybody does comment. Is there's this sensor that I got a block off plate for, and then every one of these vacuum lines I have no clue, because ever since I've had this car with a swap in it, they've always been capped off, so I have no clue where they go. So that'll be the only thing that's kind of a mystery to you, that if you just watch this one video, you might have to go to another video to try to find that stuff. But hopefully after kind of seeing in detail from the outside of the car, you know, and up close and personal, that you can feel semi-confident in doing this. So that's everything I could think of to do. Oh, by the way, you'll have a, I would say this right at the end of the video, but you have these lines, right? And then you got one right here that goes to something over here. That's all I can remember. But anyways, yeah, that's everything I could think of in detail that you would need to know to take off an intake manifold off your H22. So hopefully that helps you out. So yeah, that's what's up.